Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to my channel, everyone. If this is your first time, thank you so much for taking the time to stop, and I hope by the time that we are through with this video you'll see it necessary to subscribe. And if you are returning to my channel, thank you so much. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Maximum respect to you, and big up yourself. So let's get straight into today's video. This was not on my list of videos that I wanted to do, and I just thought I would do a follow-up to a video that I did recently. This video talking about the rivalry between Trinidad and Jamaica. So what I did, I posted a video that I found from somebody else's channel, and I just gave my feedback on some of the things that the individual was saying. And listen, now when I did this video, I really I expected, yes, us to have the conversations based on the different things that the young man had compared in the video, but some of the responses I was not expecting. Now, because the video is talking about rivalry, some persons in the comment section was filled with people giving their own bits and pieces, and some persons were saying, oh, there's no rivalry, hands down Jamaica is ahead of Trinidad. And of course you had some Trinidad persons who were saying hands down Trinidad is ahead of Jamaica, but you also had some persons who were saying there's no rivalry with Jamaica and Trinidad. And then you had another set who were also saying, listen, it's just friendly rivalry. It has always been there, very petty, very friendly, but we all get along. And I'm saying I agree with the persons who say, listen, it's a friendly rivalry. But whether or not friendly or not, there is a rivalry. We cannot say that there's no rivalry. The difference is that the rivalry is a friendly rivalry. I'm going to share some of the comments from the comments section with you. All right, so Douglas Joseph 2097 said, I am Jamaican and I've been to Trinidad and Tobago many times. I love it there and was treated well by the people. They're also my friends. When I'm in Trinidad, I feel like home. That's from Douglas Joseph. All right, here's another one from Cliff_Simon. I am so proud to be rocking both countries. My dad was born and raised in Trinidad and Tobago, and my mother was born and raised in Jamaica. They both migrated to Canada in the 70s sometimes, and as God would have it, found each other, married and had a family. I just came back from Jamaica for a vacation, and I have never been more proud of my Caribbean roots. And I particularly like this comment and all the other comments like this where persons share lineage with both spaces. You know, it's interesting to always hear what their views are when it comes on to situations like these. All right, here's another one from Miss Trini Leisha. I'm Trini. Me love patties and doubles. I will visit Jamaica soon. It's been on my list for years because I'm a nature lover, and to taste that ackee, love in the house to all my Caribbean people. And so yeah, she's never been to Jamaica, but of course she has it on her bucket list. Here's another one from Wilton MacDonald. I would agree with him on the tribal behavior abroad. We are all one. That's why if the cricket is not good, we are all blaming each other. And Wilton MacDonald, you are correct on this. And here's another one from Michael Williams. This was a very interesting video. I grew up in Trinidad during the 70s and 80s, and we were always aware of peer competitor Jamaica. So yeah, we know the rival has been going on for some time. All right, let's jump to another comment from Horatio Barnes. You have nothing else to talk about in the Caribbean. Your topics are making no sense. Jamaica is in no rivalry with any country. Jamaica is doing fine. It is keeping calm and carrying a big stick for any country that challenge it. Yeah, so yeah, video is not making any sense. There's no rivalry, yet still he's pushing Jamaica as somebody that's carrying stick to beat others. How contradictory. Then I have another comment here from Still Rise, and Still Rise was one of those persons in the comment section who was very active, and a real strong and good exchange took place between him and another comment person named Alfonso. This is what he said about the video and the gentleman's critique. He hit the nail on the head. My experience with Jamaicans in Jamaica is normal and I see no animosity. But the foreign Jamaicans are more aggressive and have something to prove and like trolling other Caribbean people. I find it to be insecure behavior with all the fame and worldwide relevance. Why punch down a lesser known Caribbean island? You should punch up or fight in your weight class, especially since we small islands take so many fleeing Jamaicans. We never flee to Jamaica. Eastern Caribbean is one love and our economies dwarf Jamaica's. And in response to that, Alfonso responded to him. He said, listen, first of all, I love every single Caribbean island. But listen, you guys in Trinidad always compare Trinidad's economy with Jamaica's economy. Yes, it is true. Trinidad have a better economy at the moment, but if it wasn't for the little oil and gas found in Trinidad, where would Trinidad economy be? Jamaica achieved what we've achieved because of our talented people. Imagine if we had discovered oil decades ago. Anyways, Jamaica is in the very near future, will be the richest Caribbean island. Jamaica's geographic location is more valuable than oil and gas in Trinidad and Guyana combined. The development of Jamaica Logistic Hub will bring great wealth to Jamaica and the region. And by the way, the huge Walton Morant oil field development in Jamaica is ongoing, so stay tuned. And of course, Still Rise was right back at him with this comment. What bull! Jamaicans shouldn't be in the back and forth with you Trinis. You guys are not on Jamaica level, and the only thing you guys can talk about is a little oil and gas you guys got lucky to find. What you guys have done to contribute to the world. Jamaica shaped the world. Jamaica greatness is recognized globally. I suggest you go and do some research on the great Jamaica. Have a blessed day. And of course, that was how it went back and forth and many others. So if you've not yet seen the video, you can go and watch it and give your own comments and feedback on what you thought. And just look at some of the views that people would have shared. Because like I said, some of the views were rich. Some were biased, some had real good back and forth exchange in highlighting real strong positive things about both nations. And I just want to talk a little bit about what is it that's maybe at the root of this rivalry. And it is not that, in my opinion, it's not that, oh, Jamaica is way better than Trinidad, or Trinidad is way better than Jamaica. I just believe that both countries, they have some things that they do differently, yes, and they also have some similarities. And I think the similarities are even stronger than the differences among us here in the Caribbean. But there is a thing called identity. Yes, there is a thing called identity. And this thing called identity is one of the reasons why we will always have this rivalry. Now, I was born and raised in Jamaica. I grew up in this culture. This is what I know. So I understand the culture and the history of our music, the way we interact as a people, just the general things about us. And I love that because this is what I identify with. And so when I think about my identity as a Jamaican, I know some of the things that identifies me as a Jamaican. And other people will know that about you. And so wherever you are in the world and people see you, people will say, oh, only Jamaicans would do that. You know, there's some things that are associated with the island and the particular country. The same thing for the persons who are in Trinidad or other Caribbean islands. They would have born and grown up in those particular islands, and so therefore what they know is a way of life. That's who they are, that's their general lifestyle and practice. And so because of that, you are going to be holding on to that kind of identity, because the truth is we all want to feel a sense of belonging. We all want to belong somewhere, and it is through our identity that we are able to find that sense of belonging. In the video, the young man in the video made a comment at the end to say that he thinks the rivalry is not as strong in the Caribbean as it is in the US, with the persons who would have migrated from the different islands. And a part of the reason why I'd want to agree with him, it's because these individuals would have left their homeland. Yes, for whatever reason, trying to make a better life for themselves, their children, etc. But even though they're in another country, their heart, it's still within the Caribbean. And so if they're from Trinidad, their heart is still in Trinidad. If they're from Jamaica, their heart is in Jamaica. If they're from Guyana or Barbados, their hearts are still in those spaces. And so when they start trying to defend Jamaica, when they start trying to defend Trinidad, when they start trying to defend Barbados or whichever island they are defending, it is their own way of holding on to a little bit of their own hometown and their own identity. And all of this is not new to us. Let us look back at our enslaved. Let us look at our ancestors. Our ancestors were taken from us and they were brought to the Caribbean. Yes, when they came to the Caribbean, they took with them the various practices and lifestyle and customs that they were used to within their African continent. While it is that some of their practices were outlawed by the slave masters, this enslaved carried on with some of their practices. So some of those practices, they held on to them because that's their identity. That is how they were still able to hold on to a little piece of Africa in their heart through the identity. And so they were able to maintain that and they were able to pass that on to us. And so when we talk about rivalry is not always negative in the sense that, oh, we're so terrible against each other. Yes, sometimes it's friendly. It's just like sports. When you have that kind of friendly rivalry and the athletes get out there on the track, right? Once they line up at the track, they forget the friendship in the moment. Yes, because they're all now competing, they are competitors. But by the end of the race, they are comforting each other, congratulating each other, hugging each other, laughing and talking again. Yes, that kind of friendly rivalry. So it's the same thing, I think, that's happening within the Caribbean. Now, one of the things when I look at some of the comments, people were talking about the meals, and of course you had some persons from Trinidad who were saying that, oh, the doubles taste so much better than the patties, which of course you expect them to say that, I think. However, there were people from Trinidad in the comment section who were saying no, they don't like the doubles over the patty. They prefer the Jamaican patty over the doubles. And of course you had some Jamaicans who were also saying vice versa. And so the comment section had a range of things. Some people were talking about the fact that Trinidad had oil and Jamaica don't have any oil, so Trinidad is doing better economically than Jamaican because Trinidad has the oil and they're doing better economically and they have a smaller population to feed. It simply means they are in a stronger position than Jamaica. And then you had some other persons who were counteracting that by saying that, oh, but Jamaica is more popular, known globally, a global brand. Wherever you go, everybody knows Jamaican exactly. So because of that, Jamaica should not be compared to Trinidad because Jamaica is in a category by itself. So people were latching on to the culture and all the different things that were happening. And so I thought it was a rich discussion in some parts, because some people were really having uh, conversations and highlighting things about the country. So when they start to talk about the economic state of the two islands, and some persons were able to give you the specific things, I believe that was quite useful. Yes, in contribute to the discussion. But of course, you expected to have seen some of the people just saying some other things, because at the end of the day, our identity is important to us. And the identity that we possess is what also would lead us to have a certain level of patriotism. Yes? And so when we start to think about the country, we cannot say that there is no rivalry within the Caribbean. So yes, you had persons who were saying one love, one Caribbean, and we are right there. We are still one love, we are still one Caribbean, but we cannot ignore that friendly rivalry that exists, right, within the Caribbean islands for different reasons too. Yes, but I think the core of it has to do with the fact that this is how we identify. My identity is that I'm a Jamaican, born, bred, practicing, grew up, know the way of life, etc. And so I identify this way. Yeah, same thing with the people from Trinidad and the other islands. Now, one of the comments and the criticism was that, oh, Jamaicans are so aggressive. But the reality is, sometimes the things that people criticize about us are some of the things that we own. Yes, we own some of those things, and those are the things that help to make us who we are as a people. And so when somebody comes and say, oh, Jamaicans are so aggressive, but maybe there are some persons who would say, oh no, they are not aggressive, they are just assertive. Maybe that's what you might hear. But Jamaicans will embrace it and say, yeah, I'm a Jamaican and I'm aggressive, and that's how I'm going to get by. Nobody can walk on me. Nobody can step to me. You can't walk on me and treat me as you want to treat me. You can't treat me like a boy. I'm not your footstool. Because what you own, that thing that people say about you being aggressive and assertive in order to move forward and do whatever it is that you are doing. And so we identify with these things, and these things define who we are. Yes, so identity is important, and everybody wants to feel that sense of belonging to a group of people, belonging to a particular space, somewhere that you can call home for whatever that reason is, because it is fulfilling, right? And so when we think about the relationship among the countries in the Caribbean, when we see the word rivalry that says, yes, there's a rivalry among the islands within the Caribbean, let us see it as friendly rivalry, because we still cheer on each other. We share many, many, many similarities in our culture. Yes? And so, but we will always, always be putting our national pride first. All right, but let me hear what your thought is as it comes to identity and a sense of belonging, and how we believe that identity and sense of belonging would allow us to get to a point where it fuels the kind of friendly rivalry that we have within the Caribbean, and also how it is that you believe that we actually adopt that from our own ancestors, because that's something that would have passed on to us. Let me hear your thoughts. All right, and of course, I'm right at the end of this video. I know it sounds a little bit babbling, but I just wanted us to talk about the fact that, listen, we're rivalry friendly. We love with one another. Persons in the comment section were talking about the fact that a lot of their friends are Trinidadians. Some persons were saying a lot of their friends were Jamaicans, etc. So I did not see anybody in the comments saying, oh, Trinidad people wicked, Jamaican people wicked, etc. And but by the mere comment and the fact that we had so many contending views and perspectives, and everybody sharing their experience, it's real evidence and testament to say, listen, we have a friendly rivalry. And the reality is that rivalry is not going to go anywhere whatsoever. And so because it's not going to go anywhere, we have to learn to live with that friendly rivalry, and of course continue loving each other. All right, so I've now come to the end of this video, so thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And let us continue this conversation in the comment section. Walk good, big up yourself.